On 8 out of 10 Cats, Take It Away, it's Paul Hollywood. Things Could Get Hairy, it's Joe Wilkinson. And their team captain, Jon Locke. And facing them tonight, what a result! It's Gabby Logan. She's the bee's knees. It's Aisling Bea. And their team captain, Jon Richardson. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 40% of Americans have trouble swallowing pills? But if you make that pill bigger and out of beef, slap some cheese on it and pop it in a bun, then problem solved. 33% of people believe robots will one day replace soldiers. Absurd. Who's dipping a robot in a boiled egg? And 58% of people have difficulty finding a builder they trust. And that's because it's difficult to learn Polish. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our palace job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. John's team, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it the news that former Radio 1 DJ Mike Reid has been nominated for a Mobo Award?
Oh, what a world that would be. And tell us what happened.
Well, he's promoted UKIP via the medium which we all use for things we love, which is a calypso song. You've got to go some way to be the most hated Radio 1 DJ of recent times. But he's really... He sung a song in an accent. Now, don't get me wrong, I love an accent. An accent is not racist.
No.
Unless the words you're singing are racist and the accent you use is a bit... Racist.
Mike Reid has apologised unreservedly. He said it was never meant to be remotely racist. You can't sing a calypso with a Surrey accent.
Did he say that as he finished the song? He went, dring. I'd like to apologise profusely for the racist undertones in that song, but I have to sing it in that accent, otherwise it's not a calypso. Forwards with Britain!
It's at number 22 in the charts. I only know that today because my kids were looking to download something else, another song this morning, and my daughter, who's 9, went, "Oh my God, there's a UKIP calypso! It's a number 22!" And so I had to explain what it was, and, you know, she went, "Can we listen to it?" I went, "No, it's dirty, don't listen to it."
What other UKIP hits were they looking to download that came up?
No, it was in the charts. It's number 22 in the charts.
The main problem with it is it's embarrassingly shit, isn't it?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's not the only immigration story this week. There was also the head of the EU has basically said Cameron's plans for immigration caps are illegal. Cameron said, "The UK public is my boss. I only take orders from them."
Only that's not true because we have to go along with what we've signed up for in Europe. So it's completely illegal for David Cameron to actually impose any kind of cap at all, isn't it?
I mean, the thing is about the whole EU thing. I mean, I worked in Cyprus for 6 years. So I look at it from the other side of the fence.
How were you treated out there? Did they welcome you with open arms? I suppose you've always got cake on you, so... If every illegal immigrant was supplied with just a tray of cakes, I think people would go, immigrants, they're bloody marvellous. These are delicious.
It was an easy place to go and work. I mean, I always found that the immigration officers out there, you know, we had to queue for like 12 hours to get it stamped every 6 months.
12 hours in a queue?
Yeah.
What, 12 hours without bacon? Have you ever gone that long?
No.
I can't believe. What did you put on?
It's a bit dodgy after 3.
It's tough, though. Immigrants are getting a bad time at the moment. They're getting such a bad rap. And I know people say, "Oh, you're just coming over here taking people's jobs." And I know this seat right here could be taken by a UK comedian. Like, in my country, I was a surgeon.
She worked for many years as a tree surgeon. She's bloody marvellous.
No, there's 3 surgeons. 3.
Hey!
Let's have a look and see if all these immigration stories are up there. Yes, immigration stories have been dominating the news this week. Mike Reid was accused of being racist for singing the UKIP calypso in a Jamaican accent. It's only my personal opinion, but I think that man is a bomber clot. In response to EU immigration caps, David Cameron has insisted he answers to the British people and they are his only boss. Well, if we're his boss, why don't we make him do something useful, like rename the cabinet Tenacity and get them to make jackets with solar panels for shoulder pads? Sean Steen, what else has the nation been talking about?
Is it, there's a, well, the only disabled man in the world it's OK to hate. He's been sent to jail.
That's right, this is the story. Oscar Pistorius was jailed for 5 years, but might be out and under house arrest after just 10 months. I mean, it seems very lenient, doesn't it?
That's terrible. How are you going to make any good friends in 10 months?
How do they say they give him a maximum of 5 years and it ends up he could be out in 10? How does that work?
Yeah, it's like the South African prison systems, you've got to serve 1/6 of your sentence and then you're eligible for sort of parole and house arrest and...
So he still could be in there for 5 years. What's the chances?
It's unlikely, isn't it, when he's been given such a meagre sentence.
So, Gabby, what do you make of Pistorius' story?
I think prior to the incident that happened on Valentine's Day last year, he had appeared to be this incredible trailblazer that had done the Olympics and the Paralympics in the same calendar year, which was, never heard of, and was kind of making this breakthrough for Paralympic athletes. But now, obviously, it transpires that a bit of a monster was brewing underneath the surface. And I think that can happen in a lot of sports, kind of where people get kind of a bit bigger than the sport and they're treated as gods. And maybe nobody kind of pulled him down a peg or two, really, and kind of grounded him. It's very sad.
Can't say peg or two when...
No.
Not fair, Gabby.
Well, speaking of the Paralympics, the International Paralympic Committee has said that Pistorius will not be allowed to compete in Paralympic events until 2019.
Oh.
And that, unfortunately, is as a starter.
Big question now that this trial is over is who's next, isn't it? We've had OJ, we've had Oscar.
Remember that sailor? She's been very quiet. Ellen MacArthur, she's been very quiet. She could go, like, postal. She could join up with the Somalian pirates. Start seizing tankers. And
Captain Phillips
ISIS with weapons. She could do that. I could see Helen MacArthur doing that.
Cried a lot. Cried. Good. He cried, and that's why he got a lenient sentence.
He did. He cried virtually that every time you... Sky treated it like it was the World Cup.
But then, the South African justice system seems to be made for TV, doesn't it? Because they have this really, really long process, obviously, through the trial. Then they have this long process of deciding the sentence, where they take more evidence, which is absurd, really, that you get people coming in saying, oh, he's a nice guy, he did lots for charity. We've just established he shot his girlfriend. That shouldn't actually make a difference right now.
I reckon there's be a couple of, like, chirpy, wisecracking inmates, though, rubbing their hands about him coming in, thinking, oh, can't wait for the comments I can make when he goes to the toilet. Yeah, that would give him a bit of a lift.
Yeah.
Those characters you get.
What kind of comments will they make?
I don't know, like, oh, don't go in the toilet when the Oscar's around. and some fellas might go, what? Why? They go, oh, he's like Oscar, I wouldn't go in there when he's standing there. They go, why, what's he going to do? Something like that might happen.
They don't at night time, though. They're going to take his legs off him at night time, but he can have them during the daytime, which I think is the wrong way around. Like, he's historically known for being more dangerous at night without his legs than during the daytime.
I wish someone would take my arms off me at night.
They're a nuisance if you want to sleep on your front. You've got to have one under you,
exactly what I meant. That's exactly what I meant. And I sometimes... I don't have a teddy bear, but I'd like one, because I'd sort of sleep on my side, and I have to now put a pillow there.
I can lock my arms in the air.
Because it's easier for you because you sleep on a bench.
Yeah.
He's lost all his lucrative sponsorship deals, hasn't he? He had a huge deal with Nike. The only company that sponsors him now is Sillet Bang 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 Bang.
let's have a look and see if Oscar Pistorius is up there. Oh, the most talked about thing. Yes, Oscar Pistorius has been sentenced to 5 years in jail. One unnamed inmate said prison gangs would protect Pistorius, presumably in the same way Pistorius protected his girlfriend from that burglar. Yeah, let's see how he likes being disturbed by 4 unexpected discharges in the middle of the night. OK, John's team. What other news? What other happier news?
Kate Middleton has finally come out.
So to speak.
So to speak. She's been vomiting in the castle.
She hasn't been vomiting, she's had hyperemesis gravidarum, actually.
Isn't it known as super sickness she's got?
Who came up with that? With the laziest doctor in the world. I've forgotten all the Latin I learned. Super sickness. That'll have to do.
It must be horrendous that she can't leave the castle.
Yeah, she's just got a castle. Imagine being stuck in a castle all day.
That's not very nice, but she must be thinking it's a great excuse for getting out some of the crap she has to do.
Ironing all those flags.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling poorly again. Not doing it.
Sean, the baby's due on April 29th. It's their anniversary. Are you excited?
I don't know. I mean, I've really struggled to find why this is a story. I mean, if it said scan reveals monkey. I put my tea down here. Hang on a sec.
Joe, how did your parents react to the news?
They love me, regardless.
I think... I just don't know. It literally doesn't raise... Don't mind. I wish them no ill.
We only need one, don't we? Should just do an X Factor for the Royals, and there's one left, and that's the one I'll give a shit about. I just can't give a shit about all of them. They keep saying, oh, they're only 56p each. They go, well, yeah, but it's not about that. It's about not having a choice. If you give me a choice, I'd give that 56p to Leon and June off Gogglebox. They deserve it more.
They like the Royals, though. They'd be upset if you got rid of the Royals.
Now, Leon doesn't like the Royals, does he? Bollocks, I'm having a cracker. That's what Leon is. I did discover this week that apparently Diana used to call Harry the spare heir, which I think is fair play. That's quite funny. I'm surprised if there's a spare heir knocking around the palace, it hasn't been stuck to William's head.
I feel a bit sorry for Harry, though, because he's slowly, with every new baby, decreasing in value.
Here's his reaction to the new baby.
You're going to become an uncle again for the second time?
I am going to become an uncle again for the second time, hopefully. So, yeah, it's very exciting news. I can't wait to see my brother suffer more. And with any luck, if it's a girl, then he'll suffer even greater. I think I'd love to see him try and cope with that.
And, of course, with that growing family, your prospects of becoming king reduced, don't they?
Great.
He's cool. He's cool.
Gabby, you did the coverage of the royal wedding.
Yes, I did.
Will you do the coverage of the... Will you be standing outside somehow?
No, I don't think I'll be called upon to do that. All that, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it, when they stand outside the hospital going, we have no news to bring you. I can confirm nothing has happened. It's the worst rolling news story ever, isn't it?
The well-wishers outside that hospital made me look normal.
I don't get that generally. You know, when they go to the news and they'll send some reporter to the area to cover some story that's loosely connected.
No, it's always outside the football ground. Just, yeah, there's been a transfer story, and so I'm standing outside some gates.
The player's not here, the manager's not here, and neither is anybody who's anything to do with the deal. This is Brian Wilson reporting from Anfield.
Is that a mug of tea?
This is my imaginary microphone, which, whenever I try an outfit on that I'm going to wear on telly, I always hold my
I thought you were in the rain.
You always do so. Whenever you do what on telly?
So sometimes if I try, like, clothes on that I'm going to be wearing on telly, say I'm going to the World Cup and I'm there for 30 days, I've got to have 30 outfits. When I try them on, I do this thing where I hold this imaginary microphone in front of to see what it looks like, which my husband finds hilarious.
Nice to hear someone English with confidence say, when I go to the World Cup and I'm going to be there for 30 days.
OK, let's take a look and see if the royal baby is up there. Yes, the due date for William and Kate's second child has been announced. No one knows what life will be like for the new royal baby, but one thing's for sure, it'll be better than yours. We're still trying to guess the most talked about things over the last week. Sean's team.
Are they talking about Sterling at the moment?
Now, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the story on Sterling?
Well, he basically said he couldn't do it, or someone said he couldn't play for England because he was too tired.
He said that?
Well, and then 24 hours later, he was spotted in the club at 3 a.m. partying. Now, the thing is, I'm a Liverpool fan. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, the lads are... If he's not playing for England and he's not playing for his club, he can have a bit of a break. What's wrong with that?
Apparently, Sterling approached Hodgson telling him, I'm not on my best form at the moment because I'm feeling a little bit tired.
In fairness to Raheem Sterling, I tried to watch that game and it turned out I was too tired to watch it. So if he was too tired to play in it, I understand. I think I got to about half-time before I fell asleep.
I think if England had been playing opposition where they may have lost or, you know, drawn and he wasn't playing and England didn't get a win, it would be much worse. But I kind of respect him for saying he was tired, if he was tired, and then don't put me in a position where I'm going to let you down. But then when you go out 24 hours later, it just doesn't look great.
Don't agree. I do not agree with that point of view. He's 19, right? It just shows how shit England are that a 19-year-old has got the fucking nerve to say to the England manager, oh, I don't feel like playing. He should be begging to play. I think our young English players have just way too much status. They shouldn't have the status to even dream of saying that to a manager. They shouldn't be able to do that. Or they shouldn't. He should have been completely honest. He should have said, I'm a bit tired today and I don't want to play. Tomorrow night, I want to go and see this crazy nightclub circus show with these stripping dwarves. And I don't want to fall asleep during it. So could I avoid the match?
Well, this is what happened. So Sterling went out the night afterwards and saw dwarves, snakes and bearded ladies at sort of circus at a club.
I know exactly what happened, because I was at the nightclub and I was...
You are not a lady, you've just got a beard.
I was dancing in a cage and he come over and he said, I'm still tired, that is why I don't want a private dance. And so he must have been tired, otherwise why did he turn me down?
I should say, though, Sterling is teetotal. He was out till 3 a.m. the next day, but he was teetotal and he was up for training the next morning, so...
Times have changed, though. When my dad played for Leeds United and they were playing Man United away and he was really badly injured. He had a bruise that goes from your hip bone down to your knee, couldn't move his leg. And so he was laid up at home. But when they got to Manchester, the Leeds team, one of the players got injured. And so they rang my dad up and said, can you get over here? It was 10 o'clock in the morning, kick-off was 3. Can you get over here? And he said, well, I can't. I said, don't worry, we'll inject your leg. And he had to get the train. I love the idea of him going across the Cross-Pennine train on his own, literally holding his football boots, about to play at Old Trafford. And this was like, you know, a top-level football match. Can you imagine Raheem Sterling going, yeah, I'll be on the Intercity 125, I've got my boots, I'll be there for you. And
did he play?
Yeah, he played.
Did they win the game?
Yes, and they injected his leg with something that, you know, he can't walk now, but it's fine, you know.
But I personally think, though, they should pick all the England team from the Championships and all the divisions below. I don't think there'd be anyone from the Premiership, just from the Championship.
You couldn't care... You just care about your team, you could not care less about England, right?
At the moment, I don't really care about the England football team, no.
I think that's... Is that not... That's quite a common thing
You
now,
get
isn't
so
it?
let down all the time when you're watching a match.
What do you mean you get so let down watching England? Did you not see the season Liverpool had last year? Let's have a look and see if Raheem Sterling is up there. Fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get.
Oh.
What have you got?
Oh, it's the rice shortage.
Oh, yeah, that's been... Oh, no, that's not in... That's weirdly not in the top 5.
No, that's next week. The NHS, another bizarre NHS government screwed up crazy initiative to stop people getting fatter. I didn't mean to say that sounds so judgmental the way I said fatter, didn't it? I mean, to stop people getting fatter. Because of the cost of obesity to the NHS is huge. I mean, really massive cost. Like, really, a big fat cost to the NHS. A big, blubbery, great, big, wobbly, lard-arse bill. The NHS is going to have to stump up to pay for all the obesity that people have got they've caught it in their mouths and swallowed it.
What they've proposed is to try and help this problem that Sean has so eloquently and succinctly kind of put in a little nugget for us.
I think I got it across, didn't I?
You got it right over there. Is to give people vouchers as an incentive to lose weight. So you give them a £50 voucher, which I just think is absolutely ludicrous. It's like saying to an alcoholic, if you stop drinking, I'm going to give you £50.
I think the incentive thing's going to work, because I do that in my life already. I have incentives like if I wash up, I then let myself play with fireworks.
If you were going to stop the obesity crisis, what would you do? What's your plan, John?
The problem is people don't care that they're going to die until they're dying. People haven't stopped smoking because of the little shitty pictures on packets or the little shutter doors. They've stopped smoking because there was a thing invented where they're still smoking, but they're not going to die of it. That is the only solution, is like e-scratchings and, like, you know, a vaporised crisp.
I'm just glad booze and toffee apples aren't bad for you.
You are a warning to others, Joe.
The problem is addictive stuff in food, that it's making food is now like crack. What you want to do is you want to stick crack into the carrots. And then be like, I can't get enough of these carrots. I've got to have some more hummus. People be robbing grannies to try and afford more hummus. You need to put crack in carrots.
Do you know what would sort out overnight?
Go on.
Ban lying. Morning fatso, that's it. Just no more lying. The main point of the issue, isn't it? It's about the NHS, the cost of the NHS. It's not actually worrying about the individual health of people. And I think we've actually got to a point now. There's a famous speech in Macbeth where he says, I've waded so far into the blood, I can't turn back, and I'll carry on. And I think we're at that stage with obesity, and there's no point trying to turn back. I think we should make people fatter so they have heart attacks sooner and they're not a burden on the NHS. So you'd have, like, you know, just in the street, just like custard pumps, and they just stop up and they just go...
My idea's a lot simpler.
What? Go on.
It's those gladiator travelators at the front of all chip shops. Let's see how much you want a sausage and batter, mate.
They're going for prevention rather than cure because, you know, people's, you know, there is growing obesity in this country. It's been caused by our sedentary lifestyles and, well, mainly the cause is bake-off.
You can't say that. I always think about a balanced diet, you know, if you take sugar and cakes and all that things out of a diet, then it's not balanced anymore. It's like, would you blame, you know, when there's a...
Excellent argument. I'll have another slice.
Any bit of moderation is absolutely fine.
You can't blame the bake-off, though. I love the bake-off so much, Paul, by the way. And, like, the world is crumbling around us. Nothing we can do. ISIS are taking over the world. There's Ebola on the rise. Kim Jong-un is just going to blow us all to hell, and the Americans won't do anything about global warming, neither will the Chinese. There's nothing we can do, and sometimes all you want to do at the end of the day is just sit down and watch Mary Berry stick her tiny little teeth into a little biscuit and go, maybe, just maybe, we're all going to be all right.
Let's have a look and see if the NHS is up there. So those were the most talked about things over the last week. But in other news, it's Halloween this Friday. I love Halloween, but then I've always loved people putting the willies up me. Katie Price has brought out her 40-second ghost-written book this week. I've got no problem with it. She doesn't write them, we don't read them, everyone's happy. And Oscar-winning actress Renée Zellweger has appeared in the press looking unrecognisable. Shall we take a look at her? Yeah. OK, here she is before. Here she is now.
If you put them together, you could do spot the difference, couldn't you? Like those you get in the newspaper.
There you go.
She's not that different.
She looks like a different person.
Yeah, she looks like a different person.
People get older.
Well, she looks younger.
She hasn't got older. She's gotten sort of...
She's changed her wallpaper.
Which one's...
Well, at the end of that round, John, Gabby and Aisling have 2 points. Sean, Joe and Paul have 3 points. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. Sean, Joe, Paul, pick a question. What do you like the look of?
The pie, obviously.
Let's go with the pie. Your specialist subject. OK. Most people would rather be good at cooking than sport. True or false?
I would probably say true.
What? No, I'd rather be better at sport.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wanted to hang out with the cooks, did they? Maybe.
I mean, he's sitting right there, Sean. It feels like you could dress it up a little bit and not immediately go, sport, definitely sport. So what's being a great cook done for you? I mean,
I'm a baker rather than a cook.
It's literally the same thing.
No, it isn't. If you put something in an oven, it's baked.
So the microwave, do you count the microwave as an oven?
Well, it's called an oven, but I don't often use microwave. Although Nancy this year was putting her dough in a microwave to make it rise a little bit.
But she won.
She did win.
Using a microwave.
Well, no, not because of the microwave.
Joe, are you a good cook?
Yeah, I'm good at cooking and sport. I just don't bang on about it.
So you do lots of sport, right? You've represented Wales in the Commonwealth Games. So are you a better cook than you are a sports person, or...?
Now I'm a better cook than I'm a sports person, because that was a long time ago. But I think, personally, if you're really, really good at sport, you can earn lots of money and get somebody to cook for you. But if you're really, really good at cooking, you can't pay any money to be good at sport, can you?
But you could watch sport.
You could watch it, yeah, you could be an armchair fan.
That's how I watch the Great British Bake Off. I sit there going, come on, Paul, you call that a biscuit? Come on! Like that.
John, what do you think?
I was interested in cooking because I already knew I was shit at sport. You tend to go into it because option A has failed.
I will just check in. Hang on a second. Were you terrible at sport?
Yeah.
Turns out you're right.
I've never seen anyone eat a cake on the bake-off, pull their top off and slide down the grass inside that tent. It's a different kind of thrill, isn't it, sport?
Well, I don't know. You know, baking can be very sexy. Take a look at this. That was an advert for bread from the 1980s. Paul, your hair looks really different there. Well, Paul, as you're on the show tonight, we thought we'd have a little sort of 8 out of 10 cats bake-off. Sean, what have you got?
Oh, I went to town.
What did you bake?
Well, you've heard of the famous layer cake.
Oh, yeah, the layer cake, of course.
Well, I went for a lay-by cake.
Talk us through the cake. That's an extraordinary looking thing.
Well, it's a lay-by, and we've got a badger that's been run over. And then there's a mattress. There's a Battenberg mattress. I've done the back with some stains on it. Dumped mattress on a lay-by. Some toilet roll. I didn't have time. I ran out of time to do the pants on the hedge. What do you think of me, Battenberg? And then there's little bin bags here.
Genuinely spitting that out. Not... Sean, he's got to taste a lot of cakes. He just tastes it and then he spits it out.
What's this made of?
This...
Sugar paste?
I used sugar paste and an actual turd I found in a lay-by.
I think it looks fantastic. I like the sponge. It's nice and moist. It's got a good bake on it. No soggy bottom. Well done.
Thank you. No soggy bottom.
Does anyone... John, have you baked anything?
Yes, well, I'm a big fan of Bake Off. So my favourite thing that got made this series was the Baked Alaska. So I thought I could present that in the way that you are accustomed to from Bake Off. So there we go.
You really don't want to have a look at what that looks like down his trousers.
Yeah, you do.
I got a little bit excited while I was making it, Paul.
It does not
Show
look...
everybody how excited you are about that cake.
They're going to see how excited I was to make this Baked Alaska. I see you've already got some cake down there for later.
Thanks very much, Billy.
Baked Alaska a la...
go.
Oh, is it a la bin?
But
Okay.
the whole thing about the Alaska gate
Yeah.
was Ian, he lost his rag a little bit. He had a bit of a tantrum and he chucked it in a bit. You can't do that. Not on Bake Off.
You can't do that on 8 out of 10 cats, as it turns out. It just doesn't work.
Look how happy John's face is because he's cleaning up. Joe, I believe you've got some cake.
Yeah,
Taste all
well,
their
I've
cakes.
actually gone a little bit different. I did a pastry, but it is a pastry with a twist because I've decorated it with me and Paul naked in a treehouse. If you notice, Paul, I've given you quite a large plonker. So I'm hoping that will swing it for me.
Sorry, what did you bake?
Oh, it's a pasty that I decorated with us on holiday. I assumed you had grey pubes.
Who do you think the winner of Cat's Bake Off is?
That's got to be Joe.
You're going Joe?
Yeah.
I think OK, let's get some answers on this. So, most people would rather be good at cooking than sport. What do you think, true or false?
For sport.
So you're saying false? OK. John, what are you going to go with?
We're saying cooking, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, just to be contrary.
I can tell you the answer is true. 66% of people would rather be good at cooking than sport. Yeah. I'd say I'm better at cooking than sport. My girlfriend asked me to knock something up in the kitchen, and now our cleaner's pregnant. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Top sign you need to grow up.
I still push Lego up my nose. I like the feeling.
Aisling, do you miss anything about being a child?
I miss the games we used to play. There was this one great game we used to play, which is called Where's Daddy Gone? And that was good because it went on for up until now, actually.
I think you miss Christmas, that edginess of Christmas when you find out that Santa...
What?
Don't say it, Paul. Don't say it.
I won't
Don't say it.
I won't say it.
There's a baker. What about those adults? I can't bear this. It really drives me nuts. They're not allergic, but they don't like tomatoes. Oh. It's fair enough when you're 9, but when you're a grown-up adult, you're hungry, you're waiting for your food, and there's a waitress trying to understand the idea that somebody, you know, of fully grown adult size doesn't want tomatoes.
I enjoyed our evening together. If you didn't want me to come to dinner, you shouldn't have asked. But frankly, the flesh on a tomato is too much like human flesh.
Do you not like tomatoes?
The skin and flesh ratio is exactly like eating a small red human.
No.
I occasionally still sleep in my mum and dad's bed. They don't want me to, but I have a key to their house.
Occasionally wearing your pants twice when you're a kid. You can do that as a kid, can't you?
And an adult.
That's how you know you need to grow up, if you put your pants on for a second
What
day.
if you've got a day off, though? What if you've been working hard and then you go to bed in your pants because you don't want your bits dangling out?
Are you sleeping in pants because it might get untidy?
It flops about, doesn't it? Sometimes I turn
Mine
the light
doesn't.
on by accident if I turn quickly in the night.
OK, so I'll give you a clue. So it involves your mum.
It's got something to do with your mum.
Yeah, students do it. Students kind of do it when they go...
Get
into
washing done.
The right answer. Yes, the top sign you need to grow up is your mum still does your washing. Last time I went round my mum, she offered to wash my smalls. I said, no thanks, mum. I haven't got time for a bath. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Jon, Gabby and Aisling have 3 points. Sean, Joe and Paul are the winners with 4 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.